Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about spaced repetition, a technique used to boost memory function and help you remember things further down the line. Now, spaced repetition is hard to do. Don't let that put you off though, because it's proven to be one of the most beneficial revision techniques that are actually out there, and it's something that is almost guaranteed to help you know your subtopics in the actual exam, from as early as one day, literally. And yeah, in this video we're going to talk us through how you do that, some techniques on how to do it, and we're going to be talking about forgetting curves. Yeah, we forget information after we learn it, but the more we review it, the longer we remember it for. So, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, do all that great stuff, and now let's get into forgetting curves. So, as you can see, after just 3 days, we've forgotten 60% of the information we have learned. Yeah, 3 days, we've dropped 40% of the information, and that could be the 40% of information that really counts, or the 40% of information that you really, really need. Now, you want to get that information back, and according to the forgetting curve, we need to go over the information over longer and longer periods of time. And then your curve will go back up and will start to decline once again. Now, here are some tips and some things to do to make sure that you get your forgetting curve back to the top every single time. Number one, homeworks. These are the things that really, at the start, get you back up to the top and back up to the top and back up to the top. So, you learn a topic in class. What's that? 1 day later, you might get a homework on it, back to the top. Maybe 3 days later, you'll get another homework on it, back to the top. Then the next week, you might have a tracking test on it, back to the top. You might make notes on it for that tracking test, back to the top. And the information is being put back in your head every single time, and then you forget about it, and you leave it, and it comes to January, and you've got mocks. When was the last time you actually looked at that information that you learned at the start of the year? Was it back in September? Was it maybe December if you were lucky? No, we need to keep going over it time and time again, but the time can increase. So, 1 day later homework, 3 days later some other kind of homework, a week later maybe some kind of test. But what about a month later? What about 2 months later? What are you going to do in that time? So this is where blurting comes into it. Blurting, making notes, topic tests and homeworks. But blurting is the next thing we're going to talk about. So let's go to a wee time lapse, shall we? Blurting is one of my favourite ways to recall information. It's active and it helps you retrieve as much information as you really can remember. Now, I heard about blurting through Unjaded Jade, the absolute icon that she is, and wow, it really helps. It really does help to dump all the information that you have in your brain from a topic out onto a page and mark it and say, I got this. Be harsh with yourself. I did not get this information. I did not get this information. I mean, you saw the time lapse of me reviewing the kidney and I hadn't revised it for a month. We learned it in the first couple of weeks of school. I'd had the test on it, and this is a month later, and I decided to go for it again. Get a blurt out of the way, and I won't have to do it for another month or two. And by that stage, we may be having mocks, so that's another great time to learn it again. So, yeah, blurting is a great way because you're actively dumping out everything onto that page. Now, I do have a video that is about blurting, but I don't know if it's up yet or not. We'll see. I don't know if it's up yet or not. I'll find that out. So, yeah, blurting, amazing. If you want to go watch on Jude's video, go do that. It's amazing. It's such a good and very unheard of revision technique. So, the next thing is, how much did you remember? Like from your blurt, how much did you actually remember? Do you need to go over stuff again? Do you need to do some more past paper questions maybe to get some information into your head? Do you need to maybe go and, I don't know, read the textbook, watch a couple of videos? Always watch videos. I mean, literally, Khan Academy videos are getting me through biology this year. Watch a video, get stuck in your head, done. Watch a video, someone else might have a better explanation that you didn't like from your teacher. You like this other person's, For example, there's some things that my teacher teaches and I absolutely love the way he teaches it. Or there may be some things that I go, don't fully get that. Let me read or watch or whatever, some other kind of information. Do you understand it better? Maybe. Do you understand it maybe better? Maybe not. Always try and go for another thing. But how much did you remember from your blurting? And what are you going to do about it? Okay, so now it's time for number 3, which is tests and past papers. Now, another form of active revision. Active revision is always the best revision. It's another active way to recall information. Doing questions similar to ones that will be on your exam can help you recall information and recall information in context. That's what blurting can't give you. Blurting can get you all the information down, but past paper questions and tests get you information in context, and context is what the exam wants. You could be given the information you're learning in any context whatsoever, and you need to be able to apply it. You need to be able to get that information from your head to the page the way they want it. So, I recommend doing a couple of past paper questions, getting a mark scheme, going through, have you got them right? That's number 1. Have you got the nuances right about the context? Have you got, suggest questions right? Copy down the mark schemes or copy down points you haven't got from the mark schemes and make sure you're hitting every single point because every single point matters. At A level, you need to be scoring as many of the points as you can because sometimes if a topic comes up that you're not sure about, you could lose quite a few marks. What about the essay? What if the essay is a subject you really don't like? You want to be getting full marks on as much as physically possible so that you can afford to have a question that you just don't know at all. But I like to do past paper questions before I do a topic test and before mocks because it's the main form of practice really. You're doing questions that are going to come up in your practice tests and things that are going to come up in your mock and then things you're going to do in your exam. So tests and past paper questions are the way to go as another form of active revision to do spaced out over that length of time. As you heard, I do them before my practice tests. I do them before mocks. Now, what's that? That's doing it close to when I first learned it before the tracking test, and then a long time after before the mocks. But long enough before the mocks, it's not all gone. But in the meantime, blurting every couple of months, blurting probably every month, a month after, and then 2 months after, and then 4 months after, that kind of thing. But tests and past paper questions are like before the tests kind of thing. Before your tracking test, before your mock, before the real thing. Go on those past paper questions. So, if you have any more questions regarding blurting or past paper questions or active recall or spaced repetition, don't forget to leave them down in the comments below. And I'll be in the comments answering as many as I physically possibly can. I love answering comments and I love seeing what you're all saying, so comment down below. But that is all I have time for today. If you like this video, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Down below. Do all that great stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.